07786 200 954 1111 on BBC Newcastle. We've been talking about snow heroes over the last few days, people who've gone out of their way to help others as we endure the big freeze. Lots of people have been helping out those who are stranded because their cars can't cope with the snow. And people with 4x4s have, for once, been enjoying some positive publicity. One 4x4 is Phil Douglas. He works with a group called 4x4 Response Northeast. Hello, Phil.
Hello.
What do you do, then?
We're a voluntary organisation, and basically we can give 4x4 sort of logistic cover to charities and other organisations like the emergency services who would come to a bit of a standstill, you know, with this weather.
All right. I got a text, actually, that said, funny how people change. In the summer, I get abuse about driving a large 4x4, but now I'm the only one in the area that can get out and get supplies for everybody.
Absolutely, yeah.
So when it's not snowing, what kind of jobs do you go to do?
With the response, we have helped marshal the St. Oswald's midnight walks. Right. Obviously, they didn't need 4x4 vehicles for that, but they needed marshals, so we said we'd help. Okay. We've helped in the floods in the summer, and obviously we spent time training as well to make sure that everybody's up to speed and can safely operate in this. Okay.
What's the firm called again?
It's not a firm, it's a voluntary organisation. It's 4x4 Response Northeast.
Okay. Just give me an example of the kind of things that you've had to deal with this week.
This week we've been providing practically 24-hour cover for Northern Doctors Urgent Care. Right. Since New Year's Eve, we've had teams out whenever they've had doctors out to make sure they could get the patients in Northumberland. We've actually helped a bride who asked for help on Radio Newcastle.
Oh, yes, I remember.
To get a wedding cake and stuff to the church, and to get I think it was her sister-in-law or something, to the railway station at Berwick because she was snowed in. Right. Basically, we speak to a lot of emergency planning places and things like that, and if we can provide them some help, we do. Okay.
Any areas that are particularly bad at the moment for you?
Northumberland's bad, obviously in the borders and stuff, but we've managed so far with everywhere we've had to go.
All right. And have you seen any silly driving?
Yes, a lot of silly driving.
It beggars belief, really, doesn't it?
It does, and I'll be honest, it's 4x4 drivers amongst it too. Really? You see a lot of them in ditches. They're not invincible.
You see, what annoys me is these silly little blonde women in 4x4s driving up and down in the summer, and you think, love, do you really need that? Can't you just get a Mini?
Well, I don't mind silly little blonde women.
Really?
No.
There's a surprise. Any top tips for driving in this weather?
Keep your distance, stay well back, try not to accelerate too hard, try not to brake hard, don't put yourself in a position where you have to. Use your gears as much as you can. Try and keep in a low gear, but try not to keep your revs too high so you're spinning the wheels, and just take it easy, drive for the conditions. Remember, you know, just because the road looks clear, it can be black ice, but just because it's quite white doesn't mean it's also massively slippy, so drive for the conditions, you know.
And what's the best thing about having a 4x4, eh?
Best thing about having a 4x4?
Yeah.
Being able to get to the Chinese takeaway when it's snowing on a night thing.
Phil Douglas from 4x4 Response Northeast. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's 11:15. This is BBC Newcastle.